Good evening and welcome to the Lighthouse. It is such a privilege and a pleasure on our behalf to be hosting you tonight. And I trust that as you engage, you will engage fully, you'll be blessed, and it will be an occasion that will be spoken of for many years. But as is our custom, before I hand over to Mel, I invite you to stand with us, please. Father, we thank you for tonight, and we thank you for the privilege that we have to come together, united in purpose, united in thought. We invite your presence amongst us, and we ask that everything that takes place will give you glory. And but as we stand united in the commonality of your peace and your goodness. We say thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. At this time, I hand over to your host for the evening, Mel. Can you put your hands together, please?
You can sit down, everyone. Okay, folks, first of all, thank you for coming. It's really appreciated for giving up your time in the week. I know it's a school day, okay? So I know some of you got to go to work in the morning, so it really, really is appreciated. What I'd like to do to start with is introduce some of our special guests. One or two of them will be coming up because it is a really special occasion, okay? One of the people I'd like to introduce is we do have the High Sheriff of Leicestershire here, and we are really, really privileged to have you here, and it really appreciate the fact that you and your husband have rushed down from up from London to be with us tonight. So thank you very much. That really is appreciated. And I think I make mention to that because it's Black History Month, and we talk about allyship, and that's what it's about. It's about having allyship and having true allies that are willing to be there to support and help. Okay, and that's what it's about. So I'd like to ask the chair of the Black Police Association for Leicestershire Police, Jakub, to come up and say a few words.
My Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Bishop Jonathan Jackson, Chief Constable, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Leicestershire's Black Police Association's annual Black History Month event here at the New Testament Church of God. Whilst Black History is not a once-a-year specific event for us or a specific date, I do look forward to this night in the calendar. For me, as the chair of the Black Police Association, this night reinvigorates us and our members and is a great opportunity for us to recharge our connections with the community to celebrate Black excellence and Black history. For those who don't know, my name is Jakub Ishmael. I am the elected chairperson of the Black Police Association. I am also the current Fairness in Policing Inspector for Leicestershire Police. I am truly and humbly honored to welcome you all here as our invited guests. Briefly, for those who do not know, Leicestershire's Black Police Association was formed in 1994, but officially constituted in 1995. We are one of the two oldest Black Police Associations in the country, along with the Metropolitan Police Black Police Association. So next year, during the Black History Month, we will be looking forward to celebrating our 30th anniversary, which is a huge milestone for us. Our BPA has approximately 90 members. It is growing in staff and numbers. We are a support staff network for Black, ethnic minority police officers and staff. And a couple of years ago, we opened up our membership to also support our workforce from the Gypsy and Romani Traveller Heritage community. So the aims of the BPA are to support the interest and welfare of our members by providing them with mentoring, coaching, and support, whether with personal matters or work-related matters. We act as critical friends to our organization and the current workforce so that they understand our communities, understand our cultural viewpoints, and we bring that lived experience into the organization. Our role as well is to support our organization with recruitment, retention, and the progression of our members because our aim is to ensure that within Leicestershire Police we reflect the societies that we serve. And lastly, to assist in building effective community relationships that inspire and increases trust between the police and our communities. Anyway, enough about the BPA. Tonight is a celebration about Black history, Black excellence, and the recognition of some of our Black role models whose shoulders we stand on. For me, tonight is also about connecting with our Black communities so that we continue together to deliver that equitable first-class service that our communities deserve. Before we get into tonight's celebrations and before I end, I just wanted to thank a few people, and genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Chief Constable Rob Nixon, thank you always for your support for our BPA members and myself and our communities. Thank you for financially supporting us always and this event. Bishop Jonathan Jackson, since you've arrived in Leicestershire and Rutland, you have been a whirlwind. You've been a huge place for support. And I'm looking forward to working with you to bring the lived experience and to bring Black culture and history into Leicestershire Police. And we will hopefully from December start delivering that training with your support and other members of the community. Kathleen Harris, for always being there, helping Leicestershire Police connect with our communities and supporting us through events like this. So thank you very much for everything you do. Neetu Squire, again for the same reasons, thank you. Mesma Leader, Shabana, and Najib Patel from FMO who supported us tonight. So all of you, thank you very much for your support always, and to each and every one, I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you.
It's okay, I get my script. I have to make sure I do as I'm told as I come up here. Okay, Leicester Riders in the house? Okay, and the reason why I mention that is because one of the big things for me in relation to recruitment is only 1% of the people that go through an academy will make it through. Okay, I spoke to a footballer a couple of days ago. There's one player from when he was in an academy that actually made it, and that's Ivan Toney. So that tells you how many people go through an academy. 60% of those people that go for a sporting academy are Black. A lot of people don't know that. I just want 1%. I want 1% of those people because they are good people. They're team workers, they're hard grafters. Okay? And they can represent in their community as well. Okay? So, guys, thanks for taking your time out tonight, again, to come and support this event. So, I'd like to introduce, and I have to make sure I get this right. I've actually written it down. His Majesty, the King, the Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire, Mike Kapoor, to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mel. I think my boss, the King himself, might have a word or two to say about me being introduced as the King, but not far off. Well done, Mel. Hi, Sheriff, Deputy Lord Mayor, Chief Constable, Bishop John. Distinguished guests, I'm delighted to join you for today's Leicestershire Black Police Association celebration. I'd like to begin by thanking the organisers for their hard work in putting together tonight's excellent event, which I know we're all going to enjoy. Now, Black History Month ensures that the contributions of Black people are recognised and the importance of Black heritage and culture are celebrated across the country. Leicester, as you know, is one of the most diverse areas of the UK. Our city and county are characterised by a rich tapestry of cultures coming together to make our city such an interesting, dynamic place to live. It is therefore only right that we celebrate the diversity that makes Leicestershire great, and tonight's event is an excellent example of this. The Leicester Black Police Association has been vital in ensuring that our police force reflects the diversity we find within our city and county. I was delighted to learn that in 2019, the Leicestershire Black Police Association became the first force outside of London to celebrate their 25th anniversary, an incredible testament to the contribution of Black officers to our communities and their impact on making Leicestershire's police force the best that it can be. This year's Black History Month theme has been Saluting Our Sisters, and I'm delighted that tonight's event can help to highlight the many, many examples of Black female excellence we see in our police force. The contributions of black women within our society are often overlooked, and taking the time to focus on and celebrate the achievements of our black female officers today is long overdue recognition of their important service and success. Now, as Mel says, I've been invited here in my capacity as Lord Lieutenant, His Majesty's personal and permanent representative in our great city of Leicester and county of Leicestershire, a position I'm proud to hold in such a diverse part of the country. So, being the King's representative, to conclude, I'd like to share with you some words from His Majesty, the King, which I feel is deeply relevant to our celebrations today, and something that I would like us all to carry with us after the event is over. The King has said, "I've always thought of Britain as a community of communities. That has led me to understand that the sovereign has an additional duty, less formally recognised, but to be no less diligently discharged. It is the duty to protect the diversity of our country." Now, I believe later this evening, I have the immense honour of presenting a number of awards, but I'm also looking forward to joining many of you in today's celebration of Black Policing Excellence and hearing from members of the association about all of their wonderful experiences. Thank you all very much.
I think it really is poignant to point out, and I was speaking to someone about it earlier, this is where the black community came to when they came in the Windrush into Highfield. You're in the heart of it right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, my mother's in the house, so I have to behave tonight. So we actually lived over at Osmaston Street. Okay? We went to church around here. My parents were married just around the corner. Okay, so this is where the black community came, and I am privileged to stand in this community and actually be part of this event tonight. It really, really does give me pride and privilege. Can I now ask Princess to come up as she's going to sing a song for us? Princess.
Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord. Before I introduce my group to us all, I want to say thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Kathleen. God bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. But before I introduce the group, I just want to go to 1 Peter 2 verse 9 that says, "But you are a chosen race." We are a chosen race, a priesthood of a kingly lineage, a holy nation, a people belonging specially to God, that we may make known the perfection of Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Can we give God a round of applause? Amen. It's not coincident we are celebrating the Black history. We are meant to do so because we are created by God to show forth His praise. And God bless you all in the name of Jesus. My name is Princess, and this is my group. We are called Voice of Healing. Because of time, I will not go into details of the introduction, but this is Sister Irene, this is Sister Eli Mamba, and this is Sister Shukuru, and this is Sister Mercy, and this is Sister Faye, and this is Sister Janie. Can we give Jesus a round of applause? It's only good for us to worship God in the beauty of His holiness because He is our creator. And tonight we are going to sing. I want you to join us. We just want to reverence this God because He's worthy to be praised. It's not because we deserve to be here, but His mercies has made us to be here. So we are going to give Him all the praise. Amen. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy, oh God. You are wonderful. You are worthy, oh God. We give you glory, oh God. Glory as we honor. We give you glory as we honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy, oh God. You are wonderful. You are worthy, oh God. We give you worship. Worship as we honor you. Oh, we give you worship as we honor you. You are wonderful, God. You are the Lion of Judah. You are wonderful, God. You are worthy, oh God. Yes, you are the Lord. You are the Lord. Yes, you are the Lord. You are the Lord. Yes, you are Jehovah. Lift up your voice and give him praise. You are the Lord. Yes, you are the Lord. You are the Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Let's worship. Worship His holy name. Holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul. Worship your whole. One more time. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. Come on, worship His holy name. Holy name. Never before. Oh, my soul. Worship your holy name. Give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. Thank you very much. God bless you.
I'm speechless after that. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sweat. Okay, can I ask Sam Harris to come up to the stage for us, please? Sam.
Hi, thank you. I wasn't expecting to hear my name that quickly. I have written a song for this evening. It's called Love is a Gift. It's written in 432 hertz, which is the natural resonance of the earth. So hopefully that will heal you and move you to heal others along your way. So when you're ready, I'm ready. Thank you.
Love
remember where, how could I forget? It was love for the first time, always meant for me and you to share. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Love is a gift, love connects to me. It's about the way you make me feel. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Love is a gift, yes. Love is a gift, yes. Love, do you remember the second time we met? I did not remember you, love, a time that I regret. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Love is a gift, love lying next to me. It's about the way you make me feel. Hold me close, hold me tight. Make me feel your love all through the night. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Love is a gift, love lying next to me. It's about the way you make me feel. Hold me close, hold me tight. Make me feel your love all through the night. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Unconditional love, sent from God above. Love is a gift, yes. 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 Thank you very much.
Wow. That reminds me of the old house parties. Or as I used to get told, big people's tunes. Amazing. So I talk about allyship, and I really do mean that. And I've had that conversation today with people. We've seen a lot of things in the media in relation to different police forces, in particular the Met. And it's Met-centric. I think that's the term now, Met-centric. What I will say is, judge us by what Leicestershire do. Judge us by what happens here. If we get it wrong, you've got to tell us we get it wrong, and it's down to us to put it right. But don't judge us by what happens across the country. There's some vile, toxic stuff going on social media. You know, I'd ask you to ignore it. Judge us by what happens here. And when I talk about allyship, the next person that's going to come up, I do consider a true ally, because I've watched you grow up, and now as a superintendent, can I ask Chief Superintendent Emma Maxwell to come to the stage, please?
Thank you. Although, to be fair, my first note to self is to speak to Mal and Jakob about my position in the order after Princess and Sam, because this is going to be nowhere near like that. Thank you. So my Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Deputy Lord Mayor, Bishop John Jackson, Chief Constable Rob Nixon, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you so much for having me here tonight. It's lovely to see so many people that I know and that I'm getting to know. And I think the fact that I'm getting to know people says that I'm starting to achieve what I want to achieve. So I really do want to know people that are in this room and get to know you. I've been told to introduce myself, so I will do that, and I will bore you for a little bit in relation to that. So my name is Chief Superintendent Emma Maxwell, and my job, sounds really boring just to say, is to oversee corporate services and our Specialist Operations Department. So what does that mean? Well, the Specialist Operations part is dead easy. That's all about the firearms, tactical support, road policing, so the things that people call the fun things, I guess. And the other side is the part I enjoy most, but don't tell the chief that. And that's the part that looks at performance, acts as Switzerland holding the force to account, and much more importantly, it's about engagement, internal and external. It's about fairness and equality, the race action plan, workforce engagement, community cohesion, working with our networks and our EDI team. So that's about why I come to work. It's about making things better for officers and staff in Leicestershire Police so they feel they work in an inclusive and a fair organisation. And it's about delivering the best service possible to the public so that they, you, can have trust and confidence in Leicestershire Police. And it's about working with fabulous people who have the same aims. And some of those, a lot of those are here tonight, sat over there. Samira, I will name check you wherever you are in the room. There she is, wave at the back. And many others, because my team can't deliver it without the support of you guys. But it actually isn't about me, and I did want to talk about why we're here. And I'm sure it's a cliche, but we shouldn't need a Black History Month. And we should be recognising, appreciating and acknowledging the achievements that have been accomplished in this country and across the world by Black people, despite the challenges and the oppression. And then, like tonight, we should still be here in order to share that inspiration, celebrate with everybody the role models that we've got, the experiences we should be acknowledging, and we continue to remember the challenges that are faced and are still being faced by Black people within our communities. The Chief will speak a little bit later about what we as Leicestershire Police have and continue to do to ensure that we're fair, representative, inclusive across our organisation. And that means working with you, being challenged by you, and now I thought about the word, and I think the word is just better. We need to be better. We're trying, but we need to be better. And, I'm going to ask for the people's help in helping us to do that. So he'll talk about LPACs, which Samira started and continue. Samira, you'll be glad to know they're still going. So when you come back, they'll still be there. And that's about Leicester police and communities together, working with those groups where trust and confidence is really, really low, so that we can start to build that. He'll talk about the Black Heritage Focus Group, which some of you here help us through and challenge me on regularly, and I really appreciate it. So thank you to everybody who's on that group. He'll talk about the Race Action Plan and our commitment to that, and more importantly, how we've invested. We listened to what you said, and we listened to many people saying, if you meant it, you'd invest in it. Well, Jakob is the Fairness in Policing Inspector now, overseen by a Chief Inspector, a Superintendent, and myself, who are committed with others to delivery of this area of business. So we will do it. It'll be slow, but we're going to get there. But we're not there yet. And I think everybody knows that, and we still have a long, long way before we get there. But you have my commitment and that of my teams, both of those who are in here and those back in Leicestershire Police who aren't, that alongside you and our Black communities will carry on taking those steps until we do get there. So again, thank you very much for allowing me to be here to celebrate with you and to recognise Black History Month.
And I think that's, whoa, have you turned me up? Whoa. I didn't have the course. And I think that's really, really important, to have that acceptance that, are we there yet? No, we're not. Do we need to do better? Yes, we do. And one of the big things is it's not the chief, it's not Emma that's out there on a daily basis in contact with the community. It's our PCs, it's our sergeants. And that's where that education has to come. And we will get there. We might not get there at the speed that some people want us to get there in, but we are going to push to get there. But we only can get there with your help. Okay? So I would like to ask Quinton the poet if he would like to come and say a few words for us, please. Quinton.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'll use this, shall I? Hello, Leicester. Hello, Leicester. I said, hello, Leicester. I'm going to keep doing this until I find my page. All right. Esteemed and distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, brothers, sisters, Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, the Chair of the Black Police Association, Chief Constable, Bishop John Jackson, Deputy Mayor, and the performers. It's an absolutely pleasure to be here in front of you all today. My name is Quinton Melise. I'm a professional youth mentor and a spoken word artist, and I help children and young people express their thoughts, feelings, worries, and concerns through poetry and through creative writing, through arts. And so I founded a small organization called Music Mentoring Arts and Poetry. And I've been working all up and down the country this month. What a month it's been. The country paused for a few weeks to celebrate black positive role models, past and present, from the UK and further afield. And this year, the topic was saluting our sisters, which meant that institutions across the country had to think about other black, influential, innovative, and inspirational people, apart from Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. But I still have a dream, and I share it with our brothers and sisters today. And those that have heard and or understand the words, ignorance is an enemy, even to its owner. Knowledge is a friend, even to its hater. You see, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. Equality, diversity, inclusion isn't just that. It's integration, it's understanding, it's compassion, it's consideration, it's respect, it's fairness, it's interconnectivity and equity. So salute to Mary Seacole. Can I have a woo? I said salute to Mary Seacole. I said salute to Rosa Parks. I said salute to Little Sims. Who knows Little Sims? We're going way back as well. We go way back and here as well present. Lauren Hill. Who remember? And Simone Biles, the most decorated gymnast on the planet. Simone Biles. Doreen Lawrence. Who's heard of Macy Jemison? Put your hands up if you... I don't know why I'm putting that accent on. put your hands up if you've heard of Macy Jemison. All right, so Macy Jemison was the first... Oh, yeah, at the back, Bishop. The first black woman in space. The first black woman in space, and she flew around the planet 127 times in a space shuttle called the Endeavour. And how amazing is it that we came from a slave ship to a spaceship? Okay. I'm going to be real quick because I want to say thanks to Nitu for inviting me. Wonderful Nitu. Can we get a whoop for Nitu? Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'll be real quick, because last time I was on here for like 25 minutes and that thing came out the side and it pulled me. Affirmations. Affirmations. Who knows about affirmations? After me then. After me. Don't let me down. Thank you. I will be okay. I am optimistic. I am on my side. I am persistent. I am balanced. I'm going to say this one today because I'm here. I am in tune with the Holy Spirit. I am peaceful. Let's do if we can do this one. If I can see it, if I can see it, I can be it. If I can see it, I can be it. I believe in me. I am positive. I am powerful. And I will do better. And that is my mantra. Yeah, we've got 3 options. Do worse, do the same, or do better. And I choose to do better. Who chooses to do better? I come from a dysfunctional background, full of adversity. Lots of us have here, and it's not an excuse. But I never ever thought that I'd be standing here today, sharing spoken word with and for the Leicestershire Police Force and the Black Police Association. This is what I say to the young people that I work with. If you can see it, you can be it. If you visualize it, at some point I visualized this. I saw it happening. I didn't know whether it's possible, but I felt that, the positive affirmations each day. There's so much power in words, and I want to share some of those words with you today. I wrote this actually for Essex Police. I have worked on and off with their Equality, Diversity and Inclusion department, if you call it that, and especially with their Operational Policing Command, and actually the exciting stuff, the drones, the dogs, the Marines unit. I positioned myself as an example of change, but someone who can bridge the gap and bridge the conversation with regards to communication with the organisation and the wider community. And so I work in prisons as well, and with Essex Police in particular, they had asked me, how do we recruit and retain black, Asian, minority and ethnic? And at first I said, I don't really like that neither, BAME, because it puts everyone under one umbrella. But how do we recruit blacks, Asians and minority ethnic groups? And I said, what about your athletics? What about your athletics? There's so many athletes in Essex that have gone through, for them to be there through discipline, that have had aspirations, that have had ambition, and for them to be there as an athlete, as an excelled athlete, they must have protected values and things that they care about and things that they value. And so, as a result of that, the Essex Police do go into athletics clubs as a way to recruit black people. So I think that's a little bit of my legacy. So I'll claim that one. My name is Humanity is a result of this EDI, and I want to share it with you. I didn't know how to address each individual group, so I thought if I call myself as a personification of my name is Humanity, as a personification of humanity, I might be able to cover it. Are you with me? Are you with me, Leicester? My name is Humanity. And you can listen to me impartially, but either way, it seems to me that now's the time I need to speak. You see, parts of me are falling apart at the seams, and I'm seeing things that make me feel like I need to be woken up from a bad dream. Why? Because it's hard for the mind to know that some of us are being unkind instead of humankind, whilst others turn a blind eye to the plight of those being marginalized. It's like I've opened up a window that I can't minimize and most definitely can't justify. You see, I just can't understand how we've multiplied at the same time as being divided. How we have the technology to guide missiles, but we're still being misguided. What happened to the spirit of togetherness? When did we forget the concept of acceptance? By the time I finish this sentence, there's a story of one of us being born out of love. But at the same time, someone, somewhere, has had more than enough. Frequently harassed, repeatedly attacked for the color of his skin or for the beliefs that he has because he's living with a man or she's wearing a hijab. Ask the person driving them away, the one swearing at the cab, why he feels this way. He'll say he learned it from his dad, or I saw it growing up and it's just the way I am. I think sometimes we develop contempt for what we don't understand, but if we envelop resent, then things won't go to plan. From the woman in the wheelchair who was verbally abused, to the boy who got picked on when they heard he was confused. You don't have to be the same as every person in the room. I know it's hard to be yourself when they're persecuting you. Would they connect with your soul if they were walking in your shoes? Could we have a common goal instead of separating groups? Can we remember World War II and why we had to send the troops? Can we stop demonizing Muslims and dehumanizing Jews? Can we try not to troll when we post from our devices like the ones who associate every Asian with ISIS and then they walk into a restaurant and try all of their spices? I'll say that again. Can we try not to troll when we post from our devices like the ones who associate every Asian with ISIS? then walk into a restaurant and try all of their spices. I don't want my kids to grow up in a world where everybody's fighting, where people are isolated because an attitude defines them, where your race or your religion can leave you outside at night frightened, where a Chinese man is beaten because he invented COVID-19. I am humanity. You don't have to victimize me because you are me. I know sometimes not everyone agrees and everyone's entitled to opinions and beliefs, but there's no need for extremism. Every single one of you are the reason I exist. Be the real you. Don't embrace a narrative. You need to know we'll all disappear if I breathe my last breath. Because if everybody's far right, we'll have nobody left. Thank you. Who wants one more? No, later on. I was winding you up, especially because I'm like, who wants one more? You know. There you go. All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Just to point out, though, you said the first black people in space. Where were they? Where did they originate from? No, as in which Caribbean island did they come from? Ah, exactly. You see, Jamaicans are the best sprinters in the world, and the Bajans, and St. Kitts are pretty good as well. But guess what? They're from Antigua. Just saying. Have a look at the spacesuit, you'll see the flag. Just saying. So, which takes me swiftly on. Some people say if you're going to be a legend, you have to leave a legacy. And my legacy, hopefully, when I finally leave the force, will be that there will be some kind of a footprint. When I went back, so I retired and returned into recruitment, I said that I wanted to leave something that the force would remember. And one of the big things was, remember the people who were there when I actually walked through the door back in 1991. And that was big time for me, because I will tell you a brief bit of my story. I didn't tell my parents I was joining the police until the Sunday before I went to headquarters. And why didn't I tell them? Because I didn't want them to worry. Literally, Sunday afternoon at my nephew's christening, I said, I've got a new job. Oh, what, you've left the post office yet? I've got a new job. Where are you going? To the police. Tumbleweed. Because my parents were naturally worried. But when I actually walked through that door, there were a number of people that made me comfortable, that I knew that I could go to, that I knew that would support me. One of them sat there, Ian Harding. Ian, can you stand up, please? Okay? And the reason why I make mention to Ian is, as far as we know, Ian is the only serving police officer that was shot on duty and survived. Okay? And he's still here to tell the tale. But the next person I'm going to ask to come up and speak is the first chair of the Leicestershire Black Police Association. When I talk about people that supported you, that would joke with you, that would push you on, that would tell you you need to keep going, he was that person. And let me tell you, the adversity that individual had to go to and go through was nothing compared to what I went through. Can I ask Stan Braithwaite to come up, please?
I can always tell when I'm back in the United Kingdom. The vibes. We heard such a good group. I have to use my voice will carry because I need to use my hands. Okay, you're not going to have any problems for me. I can always tell when I'm back in the United Kingdom. The vibes. The vibes. We heard such a beautiful group singing. No one got up and joined in. Then we heard the young lady singing. No one got up and joined in. Not even the officers, chief superintendent, the chief constable. No one joined in. I'm back in the United Kingdom. Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Deputy Lord Mayor, Bishop Jackson, Chief Constable Nixon, where is he? Chair of the Black Police Association, Inspector Ishmael, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be invited to speak at this event tonight, the Black History Month. However, I will say, each month of the year, whether it's celebrated or not, is Black History Month to me and my community. You can see what I'm saying now. For such events to be publicly acknowledged and celebrated by the wider communities, in my opinion, is affirmation that in addition to other diverse communities, Black people have contributed immensely to the development of Britain. As an invited speaker, I was asked to briefly comment on 4 areas which may be of interest to the audience. Why I joined the police, what were the highlights of my career? How do I see the police from the outside looking in with regards to the Black communities? And would I encourage others from within the Black communities to join the police service? I don't know if they're difficult questions or easy questions, but we've heard good things tonight. But perhaps I'm going to rock the boat a little and give you some honest truths in relation to Leicestershire Police. Not that I have not enjoyed myself within the Leicestershire Constabulary, not that there are problems within the Leicestershire Police, but I will have to tell you as I see it. I know you only gave me about 10 minutes to speak, but trust me, 8 minutes, okay. I was trying to sneak a little extra 2 minutes on. But why I joined the Leicestershire Police? Really, as a child growing up in Barbados, I was always fascinated and impressed by persons in uniform. When I saw the local police officers, even the ambulance officers, the fire officers, that I was really impressed. I got excited about that. And I felt that I wanted to be someone in uniform. So as I became older, I knew I had to be in a uniform role. Most likely a police officer or in the armed services. In fact, you may not know, I actually applied and was offered a job in the army, but decided not to accept the job offer after being encouraged to join the police by a local beat officer. I just want you to stop for a minute. That year was August 1973. 1973. And yes, I know I look well. I know I look good. I know that. Thank you for the comment. But just pause for a moment and think. Imagine the structure of Leicestershire Police. Imagine that there were all white officers in Leicestershire Police. Just think about it. And I was the only Black man in the Leicestershire Police at that time. Just for a minute, pause and think about what it was like. I was 19 years old at the time. It wasn't easy. It was difficult, extremely difficult. And believe me, most of my problems came from within rather than outside of the police service. But yes, I've told you why I joined the police service. You also asked about the highlights of my career. Those are easy to talk about. But like many before me from my community, there were lows, the lowlights of my career. I don't know if other black officers would say that there were racism within the police, and still is. But I know that there were racism from my colleagues, and I'm going to name them now. Not really. The opportunities, the obstruction to specialist departments. And I just want you to keep thinking about 1973, 1975, 1976, etc. Obstructions and opportunities to specialist departments. The delay of advancement within the ranks. Oh yes, I passed my exams, the sergeants and inspectors exams very early in my service. And the list goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand the importance of Black History Month because I also know of the pain my elders had to experience was contributing to this country. Of course, there were milestones in my career, being promoted to sergeant and inspector. Those were milestones. Traveling to the Czech Republic on the recommendation of His Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary to train those officers, senior officers, on diversity issues. That was a milestone in my career. Being selected to work on the Stephen Lawrence inquiry, some may know it as the Macpherson report. That was a milestone in my career. And there were many others. But the highlights of my career, there were two that which will stand out for me. And I refer to those as defining moments. As one of the founder members of the Leicestershire Black Police Association, after all of the struggles, I think you missed that word. After all of the struggles, the resentment and lack of senior command and support we had encountered, finally having the association publicly acknowledged and recognized by this Home Secretary, should have said the Home Secretary rather than the Home Secretary, and the Chief Constable of the day was a truly defining moment for me. Because I know today Inspector Ishmael is standing here as chair of the Black Police Association. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it was not easy trying to form the Black Police Association in Leicester. It was difficult, very difficult, extremely difficult. And I'm not going to stand here to tell you some of the difficulties that we have been through, because I think today is a celebration. I think we're here to say and talk about the progress we have made. But let me, in order to understand the progress we have made, just remember where we've come from. Because when we started the Black Police Association and we went to a senior officer, we were actually refused accommodation within Leicestershire Police. We had to go to a pub and we sat in one of the rooms and discussed the options about forming the Black Police Association. So as I stand here today, I'm very pleased and proud to see what we've achieved. But I think we need to remember the struggles about the Black Police Association. I personally would like to say, Chief Constable Dixon, I know you are supportive of the BPA. I know that. We have known each other for a long while. And I know personally that you have actually supported and you continue to support the Black Police Association. Ladies, I'm not saying this because I have to. I'm no longer in the police service. I'm saying it because it's true. I'm saying it because these are the facts. And not only have I spoken to Inspector Ishmael, I have also spoken to other black officers to say, well, what is the Chief Constable doing? Is he supporting us? Is he supporting you? And they've all said the same thing. Yes, that you're very supportive of the Black Police Association and that you have actually taken it forward in a very big way. I personally, as one of the founders of the Black Police Association, I would like to say thank you for the support that you have given, that you're giving, and I hope that you continue to give to the Black Police Association, because it is important that those within that association, it is important that black police officers, black staff should have a voice, and I believe that a problem can be solved when you involve everyone. No one person, no one group, no one community has all of the answers. Inspector Ishmael, I hope when it's time for your retirement, your work within the BPA will be acknowledged and recognized. I know that you walk a lonely road, my friend, a very lonely road as chair of the Black Police Association. But what I will say to you, it is important that you continue to do the good work you are doing. It's important because, like Mal has said, I have walked on the shoulders of others. I believe others have walked on my shoulders, and be rest assured that others will walk on your shoulders. So I know you have sacrificed a lot, and I know you've had some sleepless nights. But what I will say to you as well, continue the good work. So on behalf of my community, I sincerely thank you for what you're doing and what you have done. For those who may not know, the Black Police Association was the catalyst for the formation of other support groups within Leicestershire Police, like the Women's Association, like the Gay and Lesbian Association. I also believe there are a couple other associations within Leicestershire Police. But be assured that the Black Police Association was the formation, the start for all of those groups. And I also need to make a slight correction here that Leicester wasn't one of the oldest. Leicester was even before London. Leicester was the first Black Police Association in this country. And let me say to you, the reason why London is recognized as the first is simply because they got the exposure. There, it's the big city, and they were able to command the exposure and to get in touch with people that matter. But certainly, I can say to you today, Inspector Ishmael and others, Leicestershire was the first force, the first police service to start a Black Police Association. Now, another highlight of my career was my last day, the day of my retirement. That was a wonderful day. I survived the odds. I really did. And we may smile and you sort of, I can see a few heads nodding and whatever. But it really was a good day. I survived. The police service is not an easy job. Being a black person within Leicestershire was not an easy job. So on my last day, I felt like something had lifted off my shoulders. It was a very good day for me. So that was a highlight, or one of the highlights of my police service. It was also a good day for me because a lot of members within my community did not expect me to complete 30 years service. Not that I was incapable, not that I was not a skillful person. They did not expect me to complete 30 years service simply because of the problems they knew I would encounter within the police service. My family did not expect me to complete 30 years service within Leicestershire Police. In fact, I don't know if they expected me to complete 5 years. That's the honest truth. So, having completed 30 years service, that itself was a defining moment. I also felt good on the last day of my service knowing that others, and when I say that others, I'm talking about black staff, black officers would know that there was someone ahead of them who was able to complete 30 years service. So I hope and I pray that when someone talks about Stan, they will think, you know what, he was able to complete 30 years service, so I can do it as well. I wasn't the first black police officer in Leicester, as some of you may know. Mel talked about, don't even think about coming up here yet, Mel. Well, you don't even think about coming here. So just, I'm sorry, I still have about 5 minutes left. So in fact, you can sit down, man. So don't even think about coming here yet. I'm not going to be very long. Honestly, give me 2-3 more minutes. Look, I'm not even finished. Anyway, I certainly was not the first black police officer in Leicester. I think that sort of have to go to Clyde Walker. He was the first black police officer in Leicester. But what I can say is I am the first black police officer in Leicester to complete 30 years service. The question of how do I see the police service, the police force from the outside looking in? Well, Chief Superintendent, I don't want to be arrested for loitering with intent or whatever, so I'm not looking in, trust me. But what I will say, seriously, what I will say, I'm saddened. I am saddened that after 30 years, in fact, probably after 50 years when you think about it, because I did 30 years, I'm now retired 20 years, so that's 50 years. And I'm saddened, I really am, that we are still going through some of the problems that I encountered when I joined in 1973. Isn't it shameful, isn't it sad that the black community is not respected by police officers? I think it's very sad. It really is sad. We have, and I'm not sure if the white officers know this, but I know that every black person in the UK know about stop and search. I am saddened, very sad, that We have stop and search, and it causes lots of problems within the black community. Trust me, I've been stopped, and they tried to search me probably about 18 months ago. And I said, no, you're not going to search me. I think it is a very sad state when we still have problems like this within the UK, because these are problems. I'm not suggesting that you will alleviate all of these problems, but we can do better. Chief Constable, we can do better. Chief Superintendent, we can do better. We can. And you may say, how do we solve these problems? I don't know. But what I will say is that we need to have more trust on each side. And we need to be more transparent in terms of what happens. And we need to get rid of those officers, whether they are black, white, yellow, or pink, who are not behaving in the way that they should. White people demand respect. Black people also should have respect. Anyway, I'm not going to go any further on that. But let me say really that all is not lost. There are good people within Leicestershire Police. I know that the police is doing a very good job, and I think you need to be applauded for that. However, what I will say, because I know Mel wants me to shut up and get off the stage, right? But I would like to finish on this note. There was a cricketer by the name of Sir Larry Constantine. I don't know if anyone has heard of him. He was a West Indian cricketer in the 1928-29 to 1939. And I've taken a quotation from him to finish my speech, because he also encountered racism as the first black, he was the first black peer in the House, yes. And when he was interviewed about racism, he said, if I had not come, I could not have been the person I am today. I am a better citizen for the time I have spent in Nelson, in Lancashire. And I've taken a few words from his quotation, and I would say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if I had not joined, I would not have been the person I am today. I believe I have contributed to making Leicestershire and Leicestershire Constabulary a better place for all. And for me, I'm a better person, a better citizen for the time I have spent in Leicester Police. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And when we talk about things, Stan made mention to things, the things that he went through. I will tell you something now. I had a supervisor that Stan worked with. You won't know about this. And he spoke to me, and he had a bit of a heart opening. And he basically said, you know what, I worked with Stan on the TSG, well, what would have been the PMR at the time, Police Mobile Reserve. And I remember we didn't treat him very well. I am so sorry. So it tells you that things happen. And then people have to reflect. And fine, you know, I was that person he apologised to, but it should have been Stan. And he shouldn't have to go through that. The name calling and things like that, it shouldn't have happened. But if people do recognise, like we said, we've got to do better. And we must do better, because we can do better. Stan made mention to his proudest moments in the job, okay? One of my proudest moments was, and I will say it now, when I was stood at the front by appointment by You Will Do This, at the front of the procession for Leicester City 5,000-1 when they won the league in 2016. And there is somebody sat at the back, okay? Because when these kids kicked the football around, they all wanted to be like Wes Morgan. Wes, Stand up. Stand up, Wes. And you have to remember, one of the only black captains to lift the Premier League trophy. I'll come to another first as well. The former mayor. I'll still call you the former Lord Mayor, because I got told off when I introduced you wrong. George Cole, please come to the stage and say a few words.
I needed to take a moment. Good evening. Oh, come on, we can do better than that. Good evening. Let me tell you something. There's some delicious food downstairs. And I've said to the chef, make it extra special, because Black History Month is a big deal. And we're going to have in the church for the very first time, celebrating Black History Month, Leicester's police force. And that means a great deal. So, good evening. And are you looking forward to something special to eat? And it is awaiting you. And so I won't take up too much of your time. Thank you very much for giving me the honor of saying a few words. I must confess, when I came through the door, I thought I was just going to sit and listen until Jacob collared me and said, George, you must say a few words. And I will do. And I'll make it very brief, because that other gentleman took up all of my time. But what he had to say, he needed the time to say it. And I'm very grateful that you gave him the time, because it's so real that as Black people, things that we go through day in, day out. And I think we've got some really important people in this space who are willing to listen and learn. And so it was really important that he got the opportunity to say his piece. So are you going back to Barbados? So Black History Month this year is celebrating the sisters. And I've heard some really important and clever sisters mentioned who've made real contribution to our community. But I want to say to you, those Black sisters who've contributed the most to our community are those mothers who have endured through all of the difficulties. They stood up firm. They stood strong to ensure that individuals that they bring into this world can be the best version of themselves. And I think those mothers deserve a massive round of applause, because often they go unrecognized. We heard the phrase, haven't we? Educate a man, you educate an individual. Educate a woman, and you educate a nation. And there's a reason why that statement stands out. And some would argue that if you had more women in leadership, the world would not be the way it is today. And when I think of what's happening in the Middle East, it pains my heart, because it's being done by men who feel they have a right to tell everybody else what to do. And that's not true. The good Lord whoever, whatever it is, made us all equal, to make the best of our circumstances, to appreciate diversity in all of its form, religion, race, culture. But some of us seek to believe in a monoculture, which drives us down those roads that lead us to those desperate situations we see taking place across the world. So I want to celebrate women too. And I want to celebrate mothers because of their contribution to the lives of all of us. And I ask you to give mothers another round of applause, please. And make it loud and strong. Mel, you said, with regard to the police, things are changing. And I have to say, I agree with you up to a point. But you know what I want to say? Dr. Martin Luther King says, don't judge a man by the color of his skin. Judge him by the content of his character. And I want to say to all my black brothers and sisters in this room today, Mel has made a point. It is your job now to judge the police by the content of its character. And I know that the content of the character of the police is determined by the leader. He sets the outcomes. He sets the direction. And I want those of you who've never met Chief Constable Rob Nixon to take some time out with him. Take him for a drink and have a chat. And what you'll find is that not only will Rob pay, but talking to him, you don't feel you're speaking to a police officer. Now, I don't think he's got an equity card. I'm absolutely convinced of that. I think it is true nature that comes out when you meet him and he delivers like that. And I think we have a responsibility, all of us, to help him to translate that person into the police force, ensuring that, at least in Leicester, a white guy can stand up and make a joke about a black person and don't feel that he's going to be accused of racism. In much the same way, a black athlete can be driving home with her partner and child and don't feel she's going to be surrounded by 5 policemen. Because if we encourage Rob to understand that in all of us, as leaders, we have a responsibility to not just people that look like us, but to everyone that the service looks after. And you get the most out of each community if the police is the community and the community is the police. And I want to say to us today that Jakob, a very mild-mannered gentleman, is a committed person to the task of carrying the mantle that was started by this man here. And I want to give Jakob a massive round of applause for all of his hard efforts. And because that gentleman took up so much of my time, I'm going to come to an end very quickly. But I can't leave without saying, someone talked about, I think it was Mel, that says, this is the church where black people congregated back in the days. But it's more than that, Mel. I have to say to you, when white-led churches were barring black people from going into their church, and I do mean barring black people, Some black people tell us the story that went into the church, and on the way out of the church, by the door, the pastor would say, really nice to have you, and in a whisper, but don't come back next week. And just imagine that. It's a church, and the pastor, the leader, is saying that to a member of his congregation only because of the color of his skin. As a consequence of that, a number of black people decided they had to form their own church. They had to go to a place that they identified with. None of the Psalm 100, read it quietly, then sing Onward Christian Soldiers. No. It was one of those churches that bring out that spirit of the Caribbean, because these people were Caribbean people. And they had a lot of tension, lots of stress, lots of difficulty throughout the week, and they needed a place to release. They needed a place to jump and make a noise and shout, hallelujah, praise the Lord, and roll all over the floor because they were in spirit. You know, the singers started off with a verse, a chapter from the Bible, and I thank you for that. I really do thank you for that, because it made me feel I was at home. And I was at home in a godly place, a place that brought me back to the Caribbean when we were black people being black people and didn't need to worry about anything other than to give praises. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciated that. And I'm going to end on this by saying, Professor Brown, you've left the City Council. You've left an indelible mark, and we all appreciate it. Do go ahead and create your own universe elsewhere, because you're doing an absolutely wonderful job on behalf of our community. Right. Thank you, sir. And thank you to the drummers who led us in, because they had that special feel, that special positiveness. And I thought, yeah, that's black people. But don't get me wrong here. When I say, yeah, that's black people, what I'm about here is diversity in all of its kind, and us appreciating those differences and combining it together to create that wonderful high. And they demonstrated how we can do that in a place like this that represents the black community when we first came to this city. Thank you all very much for your patience.
Stole my thunder there. Just another Antiguan, by the way. Taking over the world, let me tell you. Just saying. Something that's really close to my heart is sickle cell. Okay, we've got a representative from the Sickle Cell Society. If they can just come and say a few words as to why it is important that we do have donors, that people will step forward to give their blood. So if I can have Rebecca, please, to come up.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I know the names of the leaders of Leicestershire Police is quite big, so I can't mention all of you, but I'm very honored to be here to talk about sickle cell. My name is Rebecca Sechere. I am a registered nurse, and I originally came from Ghana, and I've been in Leicester for the past 20 years. I've worked in different areas, and I've been the lead nurse for the sickle cell service here at the Leicester Royal Infirmary until a year ago, when I moved on to work as a headache specialist nurse. So I do a lot of things. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about sickle cell, and we cannot talk about Black history without sickle cell, because sickle cell is one of the common medical conditions that affect people from our background as well. I know there's not a lot of time, but I'll try my best. Sickle cell is a very complicated topic, but I'll try and make it quick. So it is genetically inherited condition, and it's a condition that affects hemoglobin. So blood, as we all know, does have about 4 components. We have red cells, white cells, platelets, and plasma. And in order to talk about sickle cell, we have to talk about the red blood cell. So the red blood cell has a protein which is called hemoglobin. The normal type of hemoglobin is referred to as hemoglobin A. Each of us inherit the type of hemoglobin we have, each from mom and the other one from dad. So if I inherit hemoglobin A from my mom and A from my dad, I have the normal hemoglobin AA. But if I have hemoglobin A from mom and maybe S from my dad, I'm a sickle cell carrier. There are different, apart from the normal hemoglobin AA, there are different types of unusual types of hemoglobin as well. So we have A, we have C, we have D, we have S, and several other types of unusual hemoglobin. So if mom is AA, dad is AS, and I have A from mom, and I have S from dad, I'm a sickle cell carrier. And we do refer to that as well as sickle cell trait. And when they say sickle cell trait, what does that mean? Basically, what it means is that that person is healthy. They don't have any medical condition per se. It doesn't change to become an illness at all. However, we do advise them that in case they require general anesthetic, it's important for them to inform the doctors so that they know how to look after them when they put them under general anesthetics. As well as that, if they're going to be doing extreme sporting activities like scuba diving, skydiving, sort of things, we do say it's important they're very careful, because when there is less oxygen, they can experience sickle cell type of condition. There have been some deaths in custody. There was a research by Professor Simon Dyson and a group of researchers in the USA, and there was a few reported deaths in custody as a result of sickle cell trait, as well as some deaths reported in extreme sporting activities in the USA as well. So who is affected by sickle cell? So according to studies, 1 in 4 people from West Africa carry the gene. 1 in 20 to 50 people from India do carry the sickle cell gene as well. 1 in 10 people whose ancestors originate from the Caribbean origin as well do have sickle cell trait. People from Pakistan, Middle East, Mediterranean can have sickle cell trait as well. So it's not only black condition, although majority of people who have sickle cell are from black origin. And due to migration as well, a lot of people are having sickle cell because of mixed marriages as well. So if I'm a carrier and I marry someone from a different origin and I pass it on, then my child can have the trait. So what is sickle cell disease? Sickle cell disease itself, so if you have the trait or you're a carrier, you're healthy. The disease itself means that you've got the trait from mom and from dad. So example of them, we have hemoglobin SS, which is sickle cell anemia. We have SNC and several other combinations. So I can only get sickle cell disease if both my parents carry the gene. If one is not a carrier, then I wouldn't get the condition. How do we diagnose sickle cell disease? We do that by opportunistic blood testing, or blood. If you do a blood test, you can be picked up. Newborn screening is available in England. We have the antenatal screening program as well. And unfortunately, in certain countries where they don't have these screening programs, there have been early deaths in children as young as 5 years old because these conditions haven't been picked up early enough to offer them treatment. But in the UK, we are very lucky to have the NHS, and we are very lucky to have all the screening programs. So these conditions are picked up early, and people are diagnosed and treatment offered as soon as possible. What are the symptoms of sickle cell disease? We have anemia because their red blood cells are breaking down very quickly. Normal red cells live for about 120 days before they break down, but that of someone with sickle cell disease only survives for about 20 to 30 days, so they are always low in hemoglobin levels. They have what we call sickle cell crisis. They are prone to infections. They can actually have stroke. So a child from the age of 2 to about 18 years can have a stroke as a result of sickle cell. It is a multi-organ disorder. It causes pain. They have jaundice because of the quick breakdown of the red blood cells. There is frequent hospitalization. They can have enlarged spleen. And is there treatment or is there cure for sickle cell? Unfortunately, we don't have a cure, although bone marrow transplant or stem cell transplant is available, but it is not without its own complications. It's a long process. We have to find a match from the family, and there could be post-transplant complications as well. Sickle cell crisis usually occur. If you hear about sickle cell, sickle cell crisis, all it means is that the red blood cells have become like a C shape. You can see that on the screen. And it does lead to blockage in blood vessels. And if there is a blockage in your blood vessels, it means that oxygen is not going to certain parts of the body. And if part of your body is not receiving oxygen, there's going to be pain. So that is what the sickle cell crisis is. What is complication? Sickle cell disease affects all the organs of the body. It affects the heart, the kidney, the eyes, and, it's a very complex and a serious condition. How do we manage them? Avoiding triggers, which I will briefly talk about. We give them folic acid. They put on penicillin to protect them from infections. There are medications like hydroxycarbamide, which I wouldn't talk too much about. We make sure they have vaccinations as well to protect them from infections as well. And children are offered what we call TCD scans or transcranial Doppler scans to pick up children who are at risk of stroke so that they can be treated early. How do we prevent sickle cell disease? This is important to everyone. It's important for you to find out whether you are a carrier for sickle cell, because by knowing whether you are a carrier, that would help you determine, whether when you have children, your kids can be carriers or have the condition as well. We do encourage premarital screening as well. So before you get married, it's important. The young ones amongst us, make sure you find out whether you are a sickle cell carrier, so that if you're going to marry somebody, you need to find out whether that person is also a carrier. Because if both of you carry the gene, there is 1 in 4 chance that you can have a child with a condition. We encourage family screening as well. There is antenatal screening. So if anyone pregnant is found out to be a carrier, they offer screening to their partners as well to help us determine whether there is a chance of their children being affected by the condition. And there are several other screening programs that I'm not going to be talking about because of time. 1 minute left, so I'm almost there. And at the end of it, Kathleen did invite me. Thank you very much for inviting me. She did ask me to briefly shout out to our brothers, our uncles, husbands, and all the males, especially from the Black community. Prostate cancer is one of the, 1 in 4 Black men are affected by prostate cancer. So make sure you check yourselves. Go to the NHS website and find out how you can check for prostate cancer. That can save you, that can save your friends, and that can save our families. Thank you very much for having me.
Somebody say music. I've come down on the floor now. There's some supreme talent in the room, apparently. Can we have supreme talent on the stage, please? Thank you.
Hello.
Of course you can. I run off with the mic, sorry.
How's everyone doing? All right? Is everyone all right? One more time. Is everyone all right? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So basically, I'm Supreme. The crew's called Truant. We're from Derby. We do music, entertainment, and we've been asked to come and entertain. But I actually feel at home because I was raised in church. So when I came in, I was like, oh my God. Like me and my brother, I thought I was going to see my grandma here or something, but it's all good, man. It's all good. So we're going to do track 1, if you're ready, called To You. And get involved. Don't be scared to stand up and get involved. I heard this man say, we don't like stiffness either. So if you want to stand up, get involved. In fact, everyone, can you stand up for me, please? Please, it's Black History Month. Like, it's not a funeral. Stand up, please. Get involved. Track 1, please. Can we have some more volume? Thank you. This one's called To You, unreleased. Big shout out to Need2 for organising all this as well. Yeah.
I've been talking to the moon, asking how you shine so bright when there's only darkness around you.
Make sure you look left and look right, or it might cost you your life.
I've been grinding to the top, but there's a problem inside. Still
I thank God
that I'm healthy and winning, wheeling, dealing, on my way to $1 million.
I can only apologize for the times I've sinning.
But it's a dark road and I ain't trying to get bitten.
I need someone to talk to as I walk through this jungle in my mind. And though I weren't taught to, I still walk through and it's humbling.
Sometimes.
Cause I've fumbled it enough times. But when I stumble, I rise and slither around. They whisper, but there's something deep inside. And it's much louder. It's guiding and
giving me power.
Saying, look how I found you. From the darkness I pulled you out of. I placed these brothers around you. Now, please take it for granted that garden is the back which you seed you're gonna plant it.
I'm trying to get to myself. Yeah, I don't really need help. I've been battling demons, my enemies scheming. Sometimes I feel that felt. My heart is overwhelmed, leading to the rock. Can't stop. That is higher than I. Like a bird in the sky. Got to watch on the time. Yeah, my family, my slime.
I've been talking to the moon, asking how you shine so bright when there's only darkness around you.
Make sure you look left and look right, or it might cost you your life.
I've been grinding to the top, but there's a problem inside.
I still thank God
that I'm healthy and winning, wheeling, dealing, on my way to $1 million.
Can only apologize
for my times of sinning, but it's a dog world and I ain't trying to get bitten.
Don't mistake risk taking for foolishness. Went school but they ain't schooling us. Man say set for the future bugs, but I felt that shank when you're giving me hugs. I swear down for the point in my back. Mum always told me plan to attack. Little did I know that you know they'll scat. Poison the sewage if you wanna catch rats. Who you trying to catch when you poison the world? I'm gonna cast spell if I poison the words for teachers. From the days of birth back work and work till you land in a hearse. I'm back, I weren't writing much. Spend a little time getting in touch with the inside man. Help me enough. Anyone that stands in the way, crush. I've never been wrong.
It's like it's lonely. When I think the way it's when it comes to you're just there for the tone you like and follow.
Borrow.
I don't believe in sorrow.
Choices.
I really can't kill this. I never just twice in my life. Not
some buys.
To a handshake. Like
yeah.
She fakes, she snakes.
Good. That was track 1. Let me just say, yeah. We've got our actual singer of the crew, and he couldn't make it today, so that's why we're all trying to fill in on the hook.
Because we're going to separate people from their food. Sorry.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you sure? Only one? Not one more?
They want to eat.
2 minutes.
They're going to eat.
It's about food. It's about food.
I can't get between people and their food. No worries. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, guys. And it's a school night. For me, this is the favourite bit of the evening. You can sit down now. It's like being at school. Okay, you don't need to put your hands up if you need to go to the toilet either. Okay, so can I ask, I have to get it right, His Majesty the Lord Right Lieutenant Michael Paul, the Chief Constable Rob Nixon, and the High Sheriff to take the stage with me, please. Thank you. So, I have to get these in the right order. Okay, so I'm going to go off script because I've got a male going first, and I know it is females and excellence, but I'm going to go for a male first. So what we do every year is we present awards to people in our community who we feel have been outstanding. Some of them are overdue, and they really are overdue. And the first one I'd like to present is to an individual who, absolutely amazing. Have a look at his story. Have a look where he came from. Have a look at how people wrote him off. How he was never going to achieve. How he was never going to get there. And then, and I've already mentioned him already, to be the captain of a team that nearly got relegated the season before. Then came back and then won the league. And we'd like to recognise Wes Morgan, please. And this is for Service Excellence, for your significant contributions, for your time and dedicated work as a role model, captain of Leicester City Football Club, and for showing the exceptional commitment and leadership in the football profession in your community. Well, our community, because you are from Nottingham, but we'll take you as a, just to make the point. I forgot to mention the FA Cup as well. And the semi-final of Champions League. Do I stop there? Go. Okay, so our next recognition award is for Service Excellence for a significant contributions for your time and dedicated work with Leicester Police to support the building of stronger relationships of our communities and for showing exceptional commitment and leadership in your community. And the winner of this award is Kathleen Harris-Layton. Sorry.
We're just saying we're going to get married. He just said, to check if the right certificate. Thank you very much.
There is a vicar present. You've got to go that way.
Oh, right.
I need to hurry up. There is food. Just saying, separating people from their food. I can smell the food. Okay, the next award is for your significant contributions through your time and dedicated work with the Leicester Police to support the building of stronger relationships with our communities and for showing exceptional commitment and leadership in your community. And this award is awarded to Nitu Squire. Nitu, you missed it. Do I need to say it again? This award is awarded to Nitu Squire. It's for you. Yeah. Keep going that way, Making this hard work tonight, aren't they? And this final one, I am absolutely blown away to be able to award this one. For your significant contributions through your time and dedicated work as the first black female president of the Leicestershire Law Society, and for showing exceptional commitment and leadership in the legal profession and your community. This person is the only black female that I know that actually has her own law profession, practice. And she made a really good point. When black people move too quick, people get scared. I love that saying. I really do love it. And I'm going to take that for myself. And this award is to Gina Samuel Richards. Now, I don't think Gina's here tonight. However, because this will tie in nicely, because she's got a poem she wants to read. So, Sandra Pollock, can you come and collect this for Gina, please? Is that your phone? Are you sure? And can you take the podium for us, please? This one.
I need to hold it.
And can I ask Mara and Beth to take their seat?
Can I use this one, please? As it's been said, the theme for Black History Month is Salute the Sisters. And I've written this poem in recognition of that. And a plug to my new book of poetry. Salute the Black Sisters. Here we are, looking into the future. Eyes bright, mind alert, hope ignited. Here we stand, shoulder to shoulder, in this moment of time. A month's recognition for centuries of untold labor and burden. Still, courage engaged, confidence emboldened by the hope that our tomorrow will be better starting today. Every day, equality cries. Celebrate our sisters, those monarchs of movements long ignored and forgotten, overwritten. Salute our sisters who stand today in the gateway of the almost forgotten. How will our history be written? It is being written now within the pen of decision-making held in your hands. To empower a better future, we must recognize where we are today and what actions and inactions we all share that brought us here. No great platitudes on whimsical soliloquy can bring the future that makes us all free. If woman, any woman, the black woman is not free to be, then none are free to be. Don't we all come from she, mother, bearer of all who is humankind, humanity? Salute the black sisters who, while still bearing children to slavery, blows, rejection, abuse, and poverty, forge through, using her wits and intelligence, taking a stand, holding the right of freedom gripped so tightly in her hands that her veins are made to bleed, along with her back, her mental health, her physical health, and her well-being. Each day, she still feels the whip that keeps her down, opportunities withheld, promotions passed over, ideas stolen, servitude enshackled, C-suite roles blocked, and benefits forbidden. Yet, hear her cry. In streets, in homes, in marketplaces, in offices and businesses, in creative and innovative arenas, creating her own spaces to shine. History will forever tell her story of resistance and resilience, emboldened and empowered with a life source that can never be put out. It has and will travel through each generation, passed down through the DNA. In every age, she is there. This future we seek and hear calling to us is her voice, a song she forever sings, the voice of freedom, true freedom that recognizes her humanity, Black people's humanity, her right to be in each place, at each table, at each level, in each space and time. Because her gift is given just as those held by any other, to powerfully declare truth and justice for all humankind. She is and will always be the voice of freedom. She is made of a Black skin that shines. Salute the Black sister with more than just words, but with value, respect, recognition, support, opportunity, and equal pay. Amend the past by how you treat her today. Salute my Black sisters. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask my honoured guests to come back onto the stage, please, for the last award? So the final award, and I do get a bit emotional about this one because I didn't know the background behind this. So, and you'll need to bring the picture up on the screen for me. So the first Black female officer was unknown until we did some digging and we found her. And she was actually still in the force. And the reason why she left the force was because she was bullied. And I use that word openly, bullied out of training school. I know she's smiling now because we've had these conversations and it is therapy. Because she's recognised. You know, why wouldn't she or couldn't she have been a senior officer? Why wouldn't she have excelled and gone on? And she was bullied out of the police service. But then she still came back. She came back and she worked on the front offices at stations. Now she's at headquarters in contact management. And I'll say it now, I am proud to know you. Because as Stan said, you went through and you endured. And you came back. And I'm just going to refer to you as Hillary. Hillary, please come up to the stage. Thank you. Don't get makeup on me. The chief will get the last word, but you get the last word before the chief.
Hillary is very proud of this award that she's received, and she did want to read out what the citation on it says, but she hasn't brought her glasses up onto the stage. So to save time, shall I read it out for you, Hillary? It says, Hillary Pardo, Quadrado. Hopefully I said that right. Okay, near enough. For your distinguished dedication and commitment in service to the Leicestershire Police and all the communities of Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. Congratulations.
And for me, folks, thanks for everyone coming tonight. There's so many familiar faces here. You know, faces that I grew up with, faces that I saw at house parties back in the 70s and 80s. And it's just an immense honour to be stood within my community, to be able to host and be part of this event. I will leave the last word to Chief Constable Rob Nixon.
Mel, thank you. Now, as somebody who's worked in risk management for 30 years, I stand between you and food. Okay, so I've got the cue. Stan, thank you. Okay, I'm going to compress anything I was going to say to about 5 minutes now. But honestly, it's been is it just me or has it been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? I've been up and down and music. It's been absolutely, truly amazing. So, round of applause for Jakob, Mel. Where is she? Need to. Mez. Kath. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I ought to formally say thank you to the Lord Lieutenant. I know that Mike is here. He wanted to be here and is hugely committed to the communities of Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. So, Mike, thank you for joining us. Hi, Sheriff. Henrietta Chubb and her husband, David. You've got out there. You've got amongst the communities, but it's great that you're here supporting us tonight. What I would describe as the best dressed, most articulate, influential Lord Mayor ever, George Cole. The legend that is Professor Ivan Brown. And the man with the cash, Police and Crime Commissioner, Rupert Matthews. Thank you for joining us, Rupert. Listen, I'm going to keep my bit condensed for obvious reasons, but can I just say a big thank you to all of the people that have spoken and all of those that have entertained us, because I personally have found them hugely emotional. And Stan, you know, I know you are an international, global jet setter these days. Can you just have a look at your carbon footprint? Because you jet setting between the UK and Barbados, but it is lovely to see you, and thank you for your kind words that you said. My sentiment would be this. You talked about transparency, and let me reassure you that the experiences that you went through are totally unacceptable, and Hillary likewise. So I would never want people now in a modern police service to go through that experience. So genuinely, thank you for your perseverance, thank you for your kind words, and thank you for your belief in that we're doing things right. So it was fantastic that you shared that with us. Now, look, I could go on. I'm going to compress it down, so I'm going to share why Black History Month is really important to me, because I do think it is about the significance of almost like just celebrating excellence. It is about championing the black community and champion people that make a difference within the black community. And I agree with the sentiment. I think, Emma, you said it's not about just this month. Actually, we should be doing it all the time. So going forward, that is what we need to be doing. But actually, whilst I look around this room, there are people who I respect immensely. And I'm proud to call a friend. I'm proud to have shared the stage, whatever the role that we have shared. But there's one of the people that have inspired me over my career that isn't with us. And she's looking away now because she knows where I'm going to take this. And in the middle of the room is Sharon Thomas and Morgan Thomas, okay? And the reason I want to share that, because not only is Black History Month important to recognise all the brilliance, but when I joined the police in 1993, I very quickly got moved into the CID. And my first detective inspector was a guy called Chris Thomas. And I'd got just a few years in, and he showed me the hand of friendship. And I owe him a debt of gratitude, because what he taught me over nearly 3 decades was belief in yourself. And he was always there. And sadly, he passed away a couple of years ago. So it's really nice to see Sharon and Morgan with us, because when we think about iconic people and people who make a difference, Chris Thomas was the most, and he rose through the ranks. I knew him when he was an inspector. I worked for him. I worked alongside him. He was the county commander. I was the city commander. And I take away huge learning. So he was a mentor, a friend, and somebody who I think was deeply respected. And he attained the rank of Assistant Chief Constable. He was the most senior ranking black officer in Leicestershire Police, and we should never, ever forget that. So can I just, for his memory, can I just have a round of applause, because we should never forget. Okay, so 2 years ago, on a stage, about half a mile up the road, we said, we've got an ambition. And the ambition was, we talked about that we serve one of the most diverse communities in the country. Fact? Amen? I couldn't help myself. I salute you. But the reality is, 2 years ago, in a church, half a mile down the road, we said we have an ambition, and we recognise the fact that we serve one of the most diverse communities in the country. So therefore, we need to have one of the most diverse police forces in the country. And we set an ambition to be recognised as a beacon force for diversity, inclusion, and working with communities, not doing to communities. We set that ambition 2 years ago. 2 years on, a lot's happened in 2 years. The world's fell apart, everyone's arguing. There's atrocities all over the globe. And actually, it's really easy to get distracted from that mission. And that's what's happened in the past. So we've always got to acknowledge what's going on internationally, because it gets played out locally. But we should never lose sight of that ambition. So tonight, I want to reaffirm that ambition, that we will continue to forward to deliver on that mission. And certainly Rupert and I talk about this on a regular basis, don't we? But the secret is being connected to communities. So over the last 2 years, what's been going on? And because of time, I'm going to really compress this. I am genuinely grateful to people in this room, because we've had people turning up for the local LPACs. And is Sam still here? Sam, thank you, okay, because it was the start of a journey. Of people turning up. We've got the Black Heritage Group. Emma referenced it in earlier. You know, that is a group of people that are coming together, and the term critical friend, there's friendship, but you're critical and you'll point it out. And that's exactly what we need to be doing. So it's about co-design, co-delivery, making sure what we're doing is on point. It's going to take us a while, but we're going to get there. We've reconfigured all the way that we're starting to look at our engagement. It's positive, and we'll see where that takes us. We've put Jakob. Where's Jakob gone? Has he disappeared? Jakob at the back. Jakob is now looking at our fairness in policing. We've formed a cohesion team to look at and reach out and make sure that we're not dropping the ball. Siobhan is overseeing our business insight, because what I've actually said is I don't want loads of data and loads of feedback getting lost. We need to see it. It needs to be brought together. We need to be responding to it. So there's lots going on. But for tonight, I just want to say to you just a huge thank you, because we can't do it alone. We can stand there and have all the words in the world. But if we don't align with each other and we don't start to form the vision for the future, I think you referenced that, didn't you? We need to form what the vision is for this community, for Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland in 10 years' time, and we need to work towards getting there. So thank you very much. I'm going to shut up. There's food served. Thank you for coming.
Okay, folks, food. Hold on. Oh, we're going to close. The band are going to come in and close for us. That's fine. Okay. Band, are you ready? and our dignitaries to follow them out. Everybody stand up, please. Everybody stand up. On your feet.